So less than 24 hours of me dropping this video, the developers essentially proved me right. So let's take a look and I'll talk about what I'm saying. So you can basically consider this as a part 2 of the Q&A answers that they gave last time. And we have a bunch of different changes. I think a lot of these things are pretty good and we're heading into the right path. So first thing here, quality of life and UI improvements. The first thing is damage text visibility improvements. So like a lot of stuff you can't see because of the damage text with, let's say, Clotho or Lightning Merlin or Fire Merlin. And so they're fixing that a little bit in the next update where you can see better instead of it just being numbers all over your screen. I wouldn't even mind if they give us the settings to turn this off. Let me know what you guys think, because if you can just turn off the numbers, you're still looking at the HP bar and it's going down. So I wouldn't mind that. Especially once you've built your character, right? So if your character is fully built, it doesn't matter how much damage you're doing. You just need to see like the enemy properly. So that's my thoughts. Clarifying skill and combined attack descriptions. So yeah, right now, combined attack descriptions are very lackluster. You can't tell what they do. And so they mentioned this in a previous developer notes that they're currently preparing to add more detailed in-game explanations of combined attacks. So I like this. And they're bringing some changes with it as well, so the effects of the ultimates might actually trigger. So before it wouldn't, but you know how Daisy gives you 50% crit defense slower on the enemy? They're probably going to add that as well, so you can get that effect while doing a combined ultimate. As a first step, we plan to reinforce the in-game guidance covering the basic rules of combined attacks. I mean, even I'll probably need this to understand how the new system works. We will continue in correcting skill descriptions that are inaccurately displayed. That's good, because we don't want to keep having situations with like Escanor and Daisy and Clotho and all that stuff. Adding item favorites and quality of life features. Variety of quality of life improvements, including the ability to register frequently used items such as platinum ore and consumables. So yeah, you can, I guess, store them in your bag maybe, which would make sense because you have to scroll all the time to actually get to what you want. We're reviewing features that allow players to view detailed information when salvaging equipment. This is very important. When you're switching gear out or when you're salvaging gear, you can't see the substat easily. You have to hold it and, it's fine, but still, they're making it easier. The substats are going to provide. And when you're crafting engraved equipment, it will tell you which ones you already have. This is pretty good too. I mean, I already know based off of memory which ones I craft, even though I have like 16 engraved sets. But this is good to have. It'll show us what you're missing and what you already have, so you don't craft duplicates. And then this will be introduced gradually according to priority. Why can't you just add it in the next update? I mean, I don't think this would be that difficult to add, but alright. Future combat and gameplay improvements, time attack, starting positions. So think of the Corrupt Golem and the Warden Orgot. You know how you have to run up to them to actually do the fight? They're making it so you probably will spawn right in front of the boss. So this is mainly due to the leaderboard, but they'll see what to do after. But you also have to consider viewpoints and treasure chests in certain dungeons and stuff maybe. So they'll have to figure out how they want to do this change. But more details on this coming later. Feedback regarding limited content. Request to remove time limits from endgame content such as raids. So currently they're not going to remove the time limits from raids. That's what they said. And that's why they give you guys the hell difficulty to actually clear that. To still get the star fragments and get some rewards, but they said they'll keep monitoring clear rates and review the clear time again based on those results. So maybe in version 1.7 we could see something about removing the time limit. I think for anything that's not competitive, I think they should just go ahead and remove the time limit. Like even if it takes you a raid to do an hour, just as an example, if it takes an hour to do the Abyss raid, okay, let people do it. I don't see the problem with that. It's just unnecessary gatekeeping. And then now here we have probably 1.7 and then stuff added to 1.8. You have knighthood boss battles, strengthening cooperative elements in party play. So you can take on different roles such as DPS, tank, support, and healer. I mean, you don't even need a tank, to be honest, right? Like just DPS, maybe 3 DPS, 1 support, 1 healer. I think with that, you'd just be good while tackling challenges together. But current building structure, it's difficult to immediately implement a role-based co-op system. I don't think they should do this. I think they should let you use your own team all the way. Like, if you're bringing in 4 units, just make the boss difficult, but I think they should not go with the role building because then you're kind of forcing people to play certain units. I mean, you can switch it around and stuff, but still. Currently, I think everybody's happy with the co-op system, so, why change it? Let me know. Again, maybe I'm wrong in thinking about this, but because combat in Origin is centered around skill synergies with heroes with a single team, the current design focuses on each player building a balanced team with heroes fulfilling. Okay. Distinct party rules can enhance the appeal of party play. I disagree with this. I think people should be playing whatever hero they want instead of being locked into something, but I guess they're going to go ahead and do it anyway. We'll have to see how they implement it. That said, we're preparing Knighthood boss battle planned for version 1.7, so, within 3 weeks. We hope you look forward to new experience of taking these challenges together with your fellow Knighthood members. Alright, I will see you guys with the leaderboard of this mode when we do get it, because I think the guild I'm in, we might be able to get number 1 with this, so we'll see. New content direction, upcoming training grotto content. This is from 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, their other game, and this is due to the desire for new content. We're introducing a new content mode based, again, from Grand Cross beyond just raids. So this is going to be more accessible to people, so hopefully it's not going to be super difficult. We'll have to see. As a first step, we are currently preparing a new feature called Training Grotto, where you can easily farm the equipment you want based on their heroes. We'll have to see what this is. Like, if you can choose the substat, maybe that would be really insane. Or maybe a specific piece that you want, that would also be good. But I wouldn't get your hopes up too much with this just yet. Because again, they could just cook us with RNG. It'd be like, all right, go in this mode and keep farming it until you get a good piece of gear. So our goal for this content is to help fill the gaps between major updates. And with another objective to work towards, we will share details through future developer notes. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. We'll have to see more details on this before I can form an opinion. And in the near future, probably version 1.9. This is not going to happen in 1.7 or 1.8. 1.9, we will see a future where you can replay the story. So at least the dialogue and, whatever, voice acting and all that stuff. Minigames in various game modes. We have received suggestions for various types of minigames and new game modes. Our development team is discussing a wider variety of experience throughout Britannia. I don't know why I cannot just read. Holy crap. But yeah, expect more game modes, the small ones especially. We'll have to see. Now, regarding the pickup system, we actually could get basically Demon Meliodas, and then the one Escanor, which, is one of his strongest modes besides the last one where he fights the Demon King. And just yesterday, I made a video saying, wait to summon Elizabeth. It's this one. If you haven't seen it, it's my summons video. I summoned her, so if you want to go see it, go ahead and watch it after this video. I'll leave it in the description. But I specifically said, don't summon on her right now as she's coming out, because we'll also get Gother's kit before she goes away, okay? And if it turns out that you need Gother more than you need Elizabeth, and you summoned on Elizabeth, that's entirely on you. And I said Gother's kit's going to be revealed, so you might as well wait a little bit and see if you're going to need Gother over Elizabeth, even though she is very good. Now, where this comes into play, you got to remember, they said they're going to give us reruns, okay? If I hop onto my game real quick, I've already been over this multiple times, so most of you guys know by now, but let's go to the draw. We're going to have reruns like this banner starting in the next 2 updates, so we can assume Meliodas is going to be coming back. And I've already been over this. You see this shared pity? You can share this between the one banner and this one. So if you skip certain units now, I know it's going to be a while, let's say before Elizabeth reruns, but by the time there might be better units and stuff, but you can also pick up Elizabeth then. So let's say this is Bond's banner, right, instead of Escanor. And what you want to do is just build up 70 pity here, 70 out of 80. And all you have to do is just go back to this banner, do the 70 out of 80 to 80 out of 80, pull this pity, and then just come back to this banner, Bond, let's say for example, and just finish this off, this 120. And you'll get Bond and the rate up character on the other banner with just 120 pulls. So if you are free to play or a low spender, I would really consider being very careful with what you summon. Unless you really need something, I would really recommend be careful, because like when, let's say this is not going to be at least for like a few months to a year, but when these kinds of versions or variants come out, and then you don't have enough star fragments to get them like potential 5, 6, 7, because you're going to want them. These are going to be the units, okay? Let's say Transcendent Spawn, Assault Meliodas, the older version of King, the mature version, all those characters are going to be coming, and you want them over these basic versions. So I'll talk a little bit more about this, how you want to go about saving your account, basically. But or being prepared for the long term if you're going to play the game that long, but let's keep going. We're currently preparing to introduce these alternative versions of heroes through future updates. While we're not ready to share the exact timing, like I said, it's probably going to be at least a few months to a year before we see these versions, but this is going to be good. Expanding free draw opportunities. So this, I'm assuming, is, this is going to be the daily and weekly star fragment distribution. So this is going to be good as well to see how much they buff it by, but they said slowly we're going to be buffing it through events, daily missions, and various content rewards. Honestly, I'm kind of happy with the current progress, but it's just not enough for free to play. If you buy the Hawk Pass and you buy the monthly, it just is it's just about to cover you, but outside of that, free to play is definitely going to be struggling a little bit. Character roadmap and development direction. So we do have the 10 Commandments and other villain characters coming. Hopefully it's not those like fangs and stuff. If they are, then SR characters. I would really like to see SR characters in these instead of, like SSRs. Like the 10 Commandments could be SSRs. I don't really mind, but like the weird fangs and Twigo and Hendrickson maybe. I think they should just be SR characters for support. That would be much better. And that way you can have more free-to-play units to keep this, free-to-play player base satisfied. But Derriere is coming, we know that. Zeldris is probably going to be very strong. Gallant is going to be okay. Like Derriere and Zeldris are going to be the two units you want to look out for that they're going to go heavy on. So, and also like the story villains, you might see some of those as well. Sarashik, or whatever his name is, the main villain, he'll be there as well. Many Guardians have asked why iconic techniques from Meliodas' Full Counter or Perfect Cube are not in this game, and it's mainly because they have certain limitations and stuff, and then weapon related. I don't know. I mean, they had Lost Vein, so they could do Full Counter. I don't know why they didn't. But depending on what kind of version of the hero it is, that's when they're going to do the weapon or the special move. So Full Counter is going to come with a very special Meliodas, which you probably would want to get. It might be like a parry system kind of thing. We'll have to see. But some skills are difficult to adapt to the game's action-based combat system that preserves their appeal. Continue exploring more ways to capture the original spirit or series through our heroes while meeting the expectations of our guardians. So yeah, I mean, these iconic skills are going to be coming, like also Bond's Snatch. That might come though, we might see that. Where you steal stats from your enemy, that would be pretty good, especially like attack, defense or HP, all that stuff is going to be good. And then ongoing balance changes for existing heroes. This I am very happy to see, and I think you guys would be too. They are saying they're going to be continuously buffing units that are going to be feeling weak. So previously released heroes may gradually lose their relevance. Our development team will continue to create an environment where they can be used alongside new heroes. This is a big W, so even if you do summon some heroes here now, they're not going to be useless, but of course the new units are going to be better. And then while it is realistically difficult for every hero to fulfill the same role or perform at the same level, we don't solely intend to focus on releasing new heroes. So yeah, I wonder what their plan is here. We will continue considering the performance of existing heroes as well. Both past and newly released heroes can be used together, and you can enjoy a variety of team compositions. The one thing with this game that is incredibly essentially free to play, right? Friendly, is that you have multiple weapons with multiple elements. So it's not like one character, one weapon, one element that you have to have them be really strong. You can have like a mismatch of strength. Let's say like Holy Elizabeth is going to be relevant for a very long time, even if maybe let's just say Earth isn't or Wind isn't. Just an example. But that doesn't change the fact that Holy Elizabeth is still going to be useful. So that's kind of what they mean here. Heroes without engraved equipment, this, we know that it comes with all the major updates with the story. Version 1.7, we'll see some engraves, and then maybe 1.8. Otherwise, it's going to be straight to 1.9. We'll see new engraved sets. Attribute balance and tactical improvements. This is, if you're using Merlin and stuff, diminishes the importance of the attribute system. This, I kind of guessed was coming, that they're going to introduce content that is going to be very element heavy, because remember how they took away the restriction, but that kind of takes away the point of the element in the game. Like, why would you use a stronger element if you have like Lightning Merlin that can basically delete Tyrannus? So if this kind of type of content comes out, then you're probably going to be forced to use that specific element at least, or like use a really strong unit of another element. Balance adjustments for existing heroes and the introduction of new heroes. So we'll see. A lot of exciting stuff. Adjusting the limit purchase for SSR weapon crafting blueprints. So these right here in the shop, Star Trails, maybe they'll increase this. That's what they're thinking about. So new players can kind of catch up. I think it's a good change. Maybe make it 2, so you can always stay ahead. And then you can also make an extra weapon to give it to somebody else. And then, as you might have seen in the game, you can trade in the blue tokens for a mastery that you have to like limit break for the Transcendence Essence, and you can also use those to basically, craft the stitching needles and the scissors. So I guess that's fine. I don't really care that much. Server latency improvements. Yeah, this is a problem. I mean, there's a lot of lag in this game, but they're aware of it and they're working to fix that soon. PlayStation bug fixes and platform optimization. That's also some stuff. They're going to add DX12, which is, I think DX12 is the newer version of like better graphics and stuff. So DX11 might be the older one. Maybe I'm confusing it, but yeah, they're bringing in FSR as well for PC. Resolution scaling bug fixes. Yeah, just some resolution stuff. So let's actually talk about how you can balance your account. So you have to summon as little as possible to make sure you make the most out of your summons. So if you're enjoying the video so far, or are seeing that I'm proving myself right, I'd really appreciate it if you could consider liking the video. That would mean a lot. But let's go over to my teams, okay? And I can quick set. Now, the way you want to balance your account is very simple. You want to have 1 DPS of each element, and that's it. Okay, that's all you need. So we have Lightning Merlin, the best DPS in the game right now for Lightning. You have Earth Daisy or Deanne on the axe, but Earth Daisy I think arguably is a little bit better. Unless you have a high potential Deanne, then she's also really good. But you have 2 Earth DPSs, right? So I would advise against picking, let's say, a unit that's also an Earth DPS. We have Escanor DPS as fire. You have both his axe and sword and shield. Both are very good. And then you can also use Gila, by the way. Gila on lance, still very good. And then Clothos the wind DPS. Elaine is also a wind DPS. Now, where it gets a little bit tricky is there's a lot of DPS roles in the game, but not enough support roles. So I would still say Elizabeth is quite good to pick up because she is more of a universal support, but any healer can fit into basically any team. Like Tiori doesn't have to be in a fire team, right, as a healer. Or Deanne on the nunchucks doesn't have to be on a healing earth team. You can put it on different teams so you can get by. So when you're summoning units, unless it's someone you really want, like for me, it's going to be Bon. I really do want him, so maybe I'll do potential 7 for him. Unless Marvel sponsors me, please potential 10 then. But besides the point, I would really be considered of who you already have. Like even Jericho on ice is a good DPS. Manny on longsword, very good DPS. So you don't need Merlin on the ice to be your DPS. She's very good. Again, these units are all going to be very good, but you have to pick and choose who you really need versus who you want. Again, Daisy support, insane. Elizabeth support, insane. Clotho support for Ice Team, insane. Gila Fire Shield is also really good. King, I can't speak too much because of course I haven't even used him. But Drake on the staff is really good. And then you have your SR supports, but we'll have to see. But I think you get the general gist. Like Darkness DPS, right? Meliodas is your Darkness DPS, and then the only role that we're kind of lacking a little bit is a really outstanding, like King is good with the Holy DPS, and then Escanor is okay on the Holy DPS, but we're lacking an outstanding Holy DPS unit. So if that comes around, maybe considering summoning that unit, which is like, it's going to delete anything that's weak to Holy. But other than that, like currently, if you have these units, you're probably not missing much. One thing we're missing is definitely a physical DPS. Again, that's going to be Bon. I'm telling you, Bon, right now I'm telling you, okay? Bon is going to be a must-pull unit. There's no argument about it. It's going to be physical. He's going to have an absolute insane amount of damage. I don't care what anybody says right now. He's going to be probably the 6-month anniversary unit. And I would say if there's any unit you need to pick up, it's probably going to be him. And I'm not even being biased here. So yeah, like I said, wait a little bit before you go summon on Elizabeth. Wait for Gother's Kit to come out. See if you like Gother's Kit more, or if he's going to help you more. And the one thing with Elizabeth is like healing. You're just never going to die because she heals you so much. But outside of that, if you don't use the wind team that much, she's not that valuable because the other one's obviously Earth Burst, and you already have Deanne on the gauntlets, who's also a very good Earth Burst, okay? She can burst really fast if you're like careful with it. So now that we have this information where we know that different variants of units are coming, like the one Escanor is obviously going to kick the shit out of this guy. So yeah, like I said, be mindful of who you pick and who you summon on. A lot of good changes are coming in the near future. If you haven't seen this video, there's just my summons and I talk about Elizabeth a little bit. I would appreciate it if you can watch it and like this video before you leave. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.